Hey guys, it's no secret that YouTube's been having problems with subscribers. I mean, some subscribers aren't getting videos when people upload, and some subscribers are being unsubscribed from channels. So, to ensure you get notified when I upload new videos, please consider doing me a favor and ticking the bell icon by my name, as well as clicking the send me all notifications for this channel option. I'm not usually one to tell you guys what to do, but with YouTube's increasing subscription issues, I've gotta adapt if I want you guys to be able to enjoy the stuff I put out. So yeah, be sure to do that so you're notified whenever a new video is released. Thanks! And also, don't forget to enjoy the video. I just want to start out this video by saying that this was a long time coming, and it was really only a matter of time until I got here. With the new announcement of the Crash Insane trilogy, I knew the time had come. So ladies and gentlemen, today I'm talking about Crash Team Racing. Can you see it? There's a window right in front of me, and it always causes, this glare to pop up. I don't know if you can see this. I'm looking in the lens because I can sort of see a reflection, but I don't know. So I'm just gonna do this. Hopefully you've seen the cover, because I feel like a total dick when the reflection. It's ruined so many videos for me. It's just so horrible! Also, I'm trying to fix the focus problems I've had with this camera. I figured out how to make it look better, but, it's a struggle. But anyways, let's do this! 1997 had come and gone, leaving Naughty Dog highly successful. Not only did they have 2 successful Crash games under their belt, and not only had Crash Bandicoot become the icon of the PlayStation, but fans everywhere were wondering in anticipation what was next. In addition to crafting the final act of the Crash trilogy, the team decided to try their hand at the kart racing genre. After all, if Crash could prove his worth against Mario in platforming, what harm would there be in seeing if he could hold his own in a racing game? And not long after Crash Bandicoot Warp's release in 1998, Crash Team Racing was given to players everywhere on September 30th, 1999. In North America, that is. Seriously, why is it like that? So this is the final Crash game made by Naughty Dog. I gotta give it to them, the guys know how to make some damn good games. Hell, they must have been exhausted by this point. Really, I don't blame them if they decided to go easy on... Extra! At the title screen, you're presented with 5 gameplay options, those of which are Adventure, Time Trial, Arcade, Versus, and Battle. Look, you know the drill, there's never anyone around to play games with me, so I'm not going to be talking about Versus or Battle mode. However, I have played both of these modes before, and yes, they're nothing short of amazing, hectic fun that are best experienced with 4 players, courtesy of the PlayStation's multi-tap. But I don't even own one of those, so shit. Adventure mode sees a new villain emerge in the form of Nitrous Oxide, a competitive alien who travels from planet to planet, taking part in competition with the galaxy's best racers. Well, hey, that's pretty cool. It's definitely original. But what are the prerequisites for competing?
I challenge the best driver of your world to a race for the planet. If your driver wins, I'll leave your miserable little rock alone.
Well, that's pretty simple. You beat him, he beats off. Wait, what did I just say?
But if I win, I'll turn your entire globe into a concrete parking lot and make you my slaves.
If I lose, you're gonna turn my planet into a concrete parking lot. That shit's pretty diabolical. And really, who better to compete against this guy than a mad scientist who sucks at being a scientist, a crossbred dingo crocodile thing who blows everything up, and a brain-dead Bandicoot. Definitely not an obese plumber who's never done any plumbing whatsoever. Story mode itself is pretty self-explanatory, actually. You choose one racer to be stuck with for the rest of the game, and race on 16 pre-existing tracks. Also, yeah, the lip-syncing for Aku Aku isn't the best, but you've probably heard that about 100 times over, so I'm not gonna waste my time on it. Moving on from that, the game itself is fun and varied, being that there's more than just races to take part in, such as challenges where you collect CTR letters, complete returning relic challenges from Crash 3, and even collect crystals for a purple CTR token. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that the CTR challenges are difficult because it's hard to find the letters. I personally disagree, since really, I don't think the letters are hard to find at all. If anything, the challenges can be a tiny bit obnoxious, since some letters require you to leave the designated racing path and usually go into a hazard that slows you down. Other than that though, though, they're great fun, and I never found it challenging to finish in first and collect all 3 letters simultaneously. If you've seen my warped review, you'll know how I feel about the relics. I don't necessarily hate them, but I wish that they weren't vital for 100% completion. In Crash Team Racing though, I absolutely love the relic challenges, since the game wants you to go as fast as you can. I guess that's my problem with Crash 3. It's a platforming game that requires patience and precision. Slapping a timer on the screen ruins that formula and makes no sense as to why it was done. But like I said, CTR is a game where speed is the essence, so smashing time crates and collecting the multiple relics is probably one of the most enjoyable things in the game. The same goes for crystal collecting too. Everything just works and it's great. Honestly though, my main point of this video isn't to focus on the game's story mode, but instead how the game itself plays. It's not called Crash Team Racing for nothing, and I'd be lying if I told you that the main racing mode of the game isn't fun. In fact, a lot of people will agree with me when I say Crash Team Racing is one of the best kart racers of all time, possibly being better than Mario Kart 64, a game that most Mario Kart fans consider to be the best. But no matter about a battle royale between CTR and Mario Kart 64, let's take a look at how the races are. Words cannot describe how perfect the handling, power-ups, and tracks themselves are in this game. And that's not nostalgia speaking either. Wanna know how? I didn't play this game until I was 16. And for those of you who don't know, that's 2 years ago. So before you say I'm blinded by rose-tinted glasses, shut the hell up. That simply doesn't apply here. But what does apply here is absolute chaos in the best way possible. But before I get ahead of myself, let's begin at the start. The roster. Now, assuming you've played and beaten the adventure mode of the game, the roster here is huge, totaling at 15 playable characters. Even if you're just beginning, you have 8 selectable racers to choose from, each with their own stats such as handling, speed, and acceleration. This is something to keep in mind since you're really going to want to spend time with each racer and learn their pros and cons. Characters like Tiny and Dingodile have shit turning but make up for it in top speed, whereas Polar and Pura lack in acceleration but have really good handling. But regardless of who you choose to play as, the racing itself is nothing short of phenomenal. If there's one thing you have to credit Mario Kart with, it's that it facilitated the side hop mechanic, which is simple. You just press one of the shoulder buttons and wiggle the control stick to boost depending on the game. Keep in mind, this is good, but Crash Team Racing says I can do better than that and actually adds strategy behind doing so. You see, you can complete a race without doing any side hops, but everyone knows if you want to be good at competitive CTR, you need to learn how to side hop. Starting off, it's the same as Mario Kart. You simply tap L1 or R1 and move the analog stick accordingly to begin your drift. That's where the similarities end. You see, in Crash Team Racing, it all comes down to timing. Basically, you wait for the smoke coming out of the exhaust to turn black, though you can also wait until this meter becomes red, then tap the shoulder button opposite to the one you're holding down. Doing this correctly rewards you with a handy boost, and doing it 3 times in a row helps you reach your kart's top speed. If you can learn how to perfect this, you can pull off just about any shortcut in the game, basically guaranteeing your victory. Awesome, I know. But the gameplay isn't based just around side hopping, since CTR sees a plethora of weapons and power-ups at the player's disposal, like time warps, missiles, TNT crates, and even good old rocket boosts. That's not all though, since you can also collect 10 Wumpa Fruits. These basically juice up the kart, causing power-ups to become more potent, as Aku Aku puts it, and even increase the top speed of the kart. Problem is though, you lose a few once you get hit, so once you collect them, avoiding any and all hazards becomes a top priority. Overall, like any racing game, speed is the main aim, and there's no shortage of ways to go fast. I've already mentioned the side hopping, but throughout every course there's these boosts scattered on the ground, and even landing after a huge jump results in a boost, so it's really easy to go fast. Couple all of that with some of the finest handling I've ever seen in a racing game, yes, I mean that, and you get countless hours of fun. Seriously, the karts handle so well. It's like you move the stick and the kart moves, and it's such a good control. I don't know how to explain it, it's great. Races are hectic as all hell, and you soon find yourself becoming accustomed with hopping to get TNT crates off of your head and boosting in an effort to avoid getting blown up by a missile. But that's not to say the game isn't enjoyable. If anything, all of the added madness accentuates the positives tenfold. It seems like whenever I play Mario Kart, I get so frustrated with the bullshit rubber banding and overall annoyances that I just end up rage quitting. But this has never happened in any of the times I've played CTR. That's how great the game is. It's like, what more can I say that nobody else has said about this game before? Honest to God, I'm at a loss for words. Okay, here's something. I think Oxide was a grossly underutilized villain. I mean, hell, what other games did we see him in besides Crash Bash? Oh yeah, that's right, none. And don't even give me that bullshit like,
Oh, you can see him at the start of the Wrath of Cortex.
or,
Oh, he makes a cameo in Twin Sanity.
yeah, all 5 seconds of screen time he got there were truly amazing. It's not like I was wondering what the hell Polar was doing there instead. But back to business, Crash Team Racing does everything right. Maybe even more so, just holy hell, look at these graphics. I mean, yeah, the in-game models are a little bit wonky, and if you really want to compare the overall presentation to something like that of the Phantom Pain, which totally isn't a game that I've been playing lately, and totally isn't related to this at all, then yeah, the game looks old. But this is a great looking game, especially on the PS1. Look at these colors. Look at Cortex's castle. Look at the snow levels. Everything is beautiful. Even the music rivals that of Crash 3. I'm dead serious. A few of the tracks in this game put Warp to shame, and I'm not afraid to say that. So yeah, that's that. I fall into the category of people who think Crash Team Racing is perhaps the best kart racer on the market. This game has an undoubtable lasting effect. Seriously, ask anybody what the best kart racer is, and you're bound to hear Crash Team Racing a multitude of times.
Hey, Cal, I have this really great idea for a video we could do together. It's... Oh, is that Crash Team Racing?
You bet your ass it is, Pubis. And hey, oh, you got a haircut.
So did you, Cal.
So, do you like Crash Team Racing?
Yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, I like Crash Team Racing.
See? Right there. Even a nerd like Pubis enjoys Crash Team Racing.
Hey!
It's got the attitude, the speed, and that Crash Bandicoot charm. Now that's not to say I don't like Mario Kart. In fact, I love Mario Kart, but CTR has a different presence to it entirely, and I've never had any issue popping the game in and spending countless hours playing it. So what are we looking at here? Well, for starters, it's a worthy entry into the Crash Bandicoot series, earning its place among the first 3. What's really cool is that most kart racing games are just spin-off titles, but CTR is a legitimate sequel to Warped, and I think that's pretty damn nifty. We also have a huge roster of characters to be unlocked. Not only can you play as characters like Crash, Cortex, and Coco, but as you progress through the game, you take part in numerous boss races, and the bosses you beat become playable. There's even Dr. Entropy, who's unlocked by getting the best times for time trials.
Or, I mean, if you don't care, you just shoot your way, just put a cheat code, I don't give a shit.
And on top of all of this, you get one of the most adrenaline-filled, innovative kart racers to exist, and I can't get enough of it. It should also be noted that this game has one of the coolest rewards for 100% completion, the Naughty Dog Scrapbook. It's pretty damn awesome to see what the guys at Naughty Dog came up with, and how they used it to create such an iconic franchise. All in all, Crash Team Racing is the quintessential kart racer, regardless if you're a Crash fan or not. I can't help but recommend it to anybody who loves racing games. So if it's not already apparent by the amount of times I've said it in this video, or just the amount of gushing I've done, I love Crash Team Racing. And if there was ever a possibility for a remake, I would crowdfund the shit out of it. That's how much this game, and just Crash Bandicoot as a whole, means to me. Now, by this point in Crash's lifespan, Naughty Dog had lost the licensing rights to the franchise, and that left Sony and Crash fans alike scratching their heads wondering what was next. Well, seeing as Crash proved to be quite the competitor in the kart racing genre against Mario, maybe he could do the same in the party game department. With that being said, be sure to join me next time as I take a look at Crash's party game outing, Crash Bash. Want to keep up with everything that I'm up to? You probably don't. But for those of you who do, head on over to twitter.com/CalWon'tShutUp and click follow. Do it now!